Now that we have showcased every single One Punch Man unit, ladies and gentlemen, I think you know what time it is. It's time to finally rank these guys on a tier list. We're doing all of the One Punch Man characters, even the ones that didn't get dream evolutions like Genos and Boros. Every single OPM character is going to be ranked, just like I've done with the other Ascended crossovers. We're doing it with OPM. Of course, OPM is just an Awoken crossover, Dream Awakenings, but we still got to do it. So let's not waste any time because this may take a while to do. Let's jump right into it. Fuki. Fuki has probably one of the wildest buffs in the game for an Awoken character. Being able to apply a 200% magic damage buff with her True Art, that's just on True Art, not even like a Super Art or anything else, is 200% up, is wild. Definitely the single highest buff in the game when it comes to Awoken units. We're not including like combined buffs here or anything. Not to mention too, if you want to make it just a little bit better, you can also give her the Earth Dream, which the Earth Dream does give her 40% more magic damage to the entire team and arch gens for the team as well. So it gives her a little bit more of that supporting role compared to just her base kit, which is Fubuki's main issue. Fubuki's kit alone really isn't all that. The art's buffing up B output and fainting the enemy, which buffing up B output is good on like equips, especially if you're just going in and out of like a stage very quickly. If you have to waste arts on BE output, it kind of defeats the purpose to an extent. You want to gain BE to actually use your true arts or your super arts or whatever, and having to use an art to be able to start increasing your BE output is kind of just like you know? Another thing about BE output too is that it's just not consistent. It's not a reliable source of arch genning since you can't necessarily pick which character gets the BE. And I would have much rather Fubuki have a art gauge art. That would have been so much better, but yeah, we didn't get that. We did not get that. Either way though, the amount of damage that Fubuki is able to buff up for her team and also support other characters in the game like Ascended magic attackers, Awoken magic attackers, doesn't matter. If you deal magic damage, you're gonna like Fubuki being on the team, and because of that, I'm gonna be putting her in number 2. Let's talk about Mr. Glow Up himself, Garo. Garo got insane, and I mean insane buffs with this update. All of his stuff got increased across the board modifier wise. Plus he just feels really good to play. Whenever you have the Dark Dream, since the Dark Dream gives him the 200 arc gauge instantaneously, which is insane for luck farming or just making him faster in sustain teams as well. Not to mention too, the evasion rate down debuff is a debuff that's not going to increase your damage or anything, but the fact that you could just make bosses stay still so where you can hit them is wild. So every little bit of accuracy or evasion rate down, he is a very strong option now when it comes to any boss with evasion and you need an accuracy unit, not just for himself but also just to help his team hit the boss. Now Garo's damage on its own, even with it fully stacked, is still a little low. I mean, of course he is an Awoken unit and he's not going to have insane amounts of damage, I understand that, but it just doesn't feel as good to play him if you're only focusing on his DPS and not his utility. His utility is definitely his strongest aspect of him. And, you know, if you also luck farm with him because he has all physical slots, you could just use stuff that like clears waves and then get to the final fight, pop your true art, hopefully it kills the boss, and then keep going on with your day. But his niche is definitely his strong suit, which is amazing. So Garo is going in number 5. I know even with the buffs and everything, he's not the worst character from this crossover anymore, but he's not the best. He's number 5. He's really freaking good. And since we put Garo at number 5, let's go ahead and get the hottest take out the way for number 4. I looked at everybody. I was like, who would I put here? And I'm going to put someone here that some of you guys may look at me and be like, OP, what are you doing? What is he cooking? But listen, I'm going to explain it. Number 4, don't click off the video. Don't click off the video, okay? Number 4 is Genos. Let me explain. Genos on his own barely does anything. Like his damage and all that is very, very low. Even with the buffs to his modifiers, he's really not all that with his DPS. The reason why this guy is even ranked so high on the tier list is really not to do with his base kit. It's to mainly do with his equip slots and also his passive, which is rank XP level 3. Any veteran player worth their salt will tell you that XP up is insanely valuable. One of the best buffs you can have in this game. One of the most important resources in this game is not crystals, not summoner orbs, not any of that. It's stamina. The more stamina you have, the more you can play the game, the more you can do stuff in the game, the more valuable stamina pots become. The larger stamina pool you have, the better it is. And the only character in the game that can help you get more stamina faster is Genos. Since he has that rank XP up, you throw this guy on a team, on literally any team in the game, doesn't matter where you're at. You could just be farming an event, you could be farming crest palaces, it doesn't even matter. He doesn't even have to be the leader of the team, and he's giving you 30% more XP. Absolutely insane. Very, very valuable. And in a lot of situations in your crest farming and all that, if you can make a 3-man team with Genos where you have like your 2 characters that are going to really carry and then Genos is just there, then you can have a 4th character be whoever you want to crest. That is going to help you so much, and you're going to gain so much XP in the long term just by having Genos on your team. You're going to rank up a lot quicker and you're going to have a lot more stamina than any other player just by using this character. If you're farming an event, make him the leader, put a player XP up crest on him, and then there you go, you're getting like 50% XP just from Genos alone. I don't know why we don't have another kind of like farmer slash XP buffer in the game. It's very weird that Genos was the only one to ever get that passive, and I'm very, very curious if we'll ever get an ascended character that has a higher XP bonus passive, because that's the only thing that Genos brings to the table that's valuable. That thing he's bringing is like he has the map to Atlantis. It's something you don't want to miss out on, and you really won't notice how crazy that 30% XP buff is until you're just doing stuff and you're realizing how much additional XP you're actually gaining. Another thing is too, is that if you are a paying player and you like to buy like the passes and stuff, and you buy the deluxe pass, well, the deluxe pass double XP will stack with Genos's XP buff. So instead of you just gaining like 100% XP bonus just from that, you're now getting like 130% XP bonus, which is ridiculous. So yeah, that's why Genos is number 4. If you're at the end game and you want to get more stamina to do more runs for your crest palaces, or just to have more stamina to do a lot of different content in the game, put Genos on your team, and slowly but surely, you will get there. All right, time for the number 3 spot, Saitama. Saitama is just an absolute nuke. He literally kills pretty much anything in front of him. If you put him up against any of the toughest fights in the game, he can still just almost one-shot them like it's nothing. The only thing that stops this man are HP gates, when the game forces you to actually do the mechanic. That is the only thing that stops Saitama. Everything else in this game can be nuked by this man. Not just nuked, but like minimal effort. You don't need to even have him on like a crazy setup with Gamma or like Momon or something. You don't even need that. You could just throw him on a team, give him some crit rate or something like that, give him 100% defense ignore, boom, the boss is dead. The main reason why he's only number 3 though is because that's kind of the extent of Saitama's power. He's just a walking nuke, which is really good. That's a really good thing to be. But the fact that he offers no type of utility, he doesn't really do anything else apart from big damage, it definitely hurts his ranking, because another attacker could come along and easily dethrone him. I mean, he's not even the best nuker in the game right now. Well, I think you can actually argue it, because I could see the argument of he is the best nuker in the game just because how fast his animations are, and in nuking a lot of the times, that's what you care about on top of just dealing big damage, is also how fast can you go. And Saitama is one of the fastest characters in the game, so I could see it. I could see it. It's arguable. You could definitely argue it. Oh, another negative about him that is just so weird, and GS, you really need to fix this, man. Next Ninja, if you're watching this, just issue a hot fix for this man. His self-arch gen that he does to himself, the 5 arts per second for like 20 seconds or something like that. Why is it type B? This is a self-arch-genning buff. He is the only character in this game that has a self-arch-gen buff that doesn't work with other arch-gen buffs. It's very, very weird. Let's move to another OG from this crossover, which is the man Boros. Boros is unfortunately, I'm gonna say, the worst unit in the crossover. Boros's buff was really good. Like, his modifier change was kind of insane, buffing it all the way up to like 66k. It's the fact that, dude, his animation is forever. I'm not gonna lie, I feel it in my soul whenever Boros jumps up and he just screams. But it takes him so long. Like, why are you sitting there screaming? Unleash the attack. If he wasn't so slow, he would be so much better, man, because he's reducing elemental resist for all elements in the game, so everybody gets a buff from that. He also buffs up his own crit rate, like, so he's pretty self-sufficient. If you want to, if the boss is in break, you can use your art. You're going to deal even more damage to the boss. Like, there's so much stuff that Boros has that just makes him really good in lots of different content, but he's not really there unless you wait for him. Like, this guy's a grandpa. Hold on now, kiddos. Let Pappy catch up. That's the one thing. You can't really complain too much because he is free, and he's just a luck unit. Like, you can use him everywhere when it comes to farming, and you'll never have to worry about that. If you're brand new to the game and you don't have this guy 120 luck, what are you doing? Make sure you get this guy 120 luck and Genos. If you didn't get anybody else from OPM, make sure you at least get those two 120 luck so you can use them. All right, let's go ahead and get out the way. Sonic at number 6. I know. Speedo sounds Sonic being at number 6. What the heck am I thinking? Okay. Well, here's the thing. If we're talking about luck farming, Sonic is easily better than Garo. Just because Sonic's able to give himself 200 art gauge with one of his Dream Awakening passives. He also has built-in crit rate. Outside of luck farming, though, that's where Garo is a lot better when it comes to the placement here. Garo has access to the evasion rate down, so he fulfills a specific niche. Sonic doesn't do that. Sonic just has more crit rate, and he deals more damage, and he also buffs up his evasion. When using Sonic, his damage is so poor. It just feels bad, dude. And I think it's mainly to do with his animation being like so lengthy that it feels like he deals nothing. If his animation was a bit quicker and he just kind of dealt all his damage almost instantaneously, I don't think I would really have this issue with him, and he would feel a lot better to play. Just to pilot this character sometimes, it doesn't feel good, which is so sad to say because Sonic used to be one of the strongest characters in the game, but nowadays it just doesn't feel that good to use him. The main benefit he has is being that 120 luck unit, having that Arch-Gen passive, so he's really good when it comes to a lot of different event farming. Outside of that though, it's hard to justify using this character. It really is. Unless you're brand new, Sonic will definitely benefit you, but if you're not brand new, man, and you have other characters at your disposal, you would want to use literally anyone else apart from Sonic. Oh, number 1, TT. I feel like this one's pretty self-explanatory. TT got massively buffed in this crossover, being able to have a 70k multiplier, by the way, on her true art, which is more than Sonic, and Sonic's a damage dealer. I know, crazy. 70k true art, 8,000 break on that bad boy, plus 100% break power buff to the entire team with her true art. If that wasn't enough, she now has a 100% chance of paralyzing the enemy. She's lowering break res with the skill. She has a magic res down on the art. Her Dream Awakenings are insane. If you want to make her into a better water breaker, you can, which I don't really recommend because what boss in the game do you have to break this water? I'll wait. Gaia? We're seriously doing Gaia in 2024. The Light Dream is just so much better. Really, I don't have anything super negative to say apart from her slots. Her slots are her main weakness. She does have access to break equips, but they're so limited, man. Like, you have the true weapon, which is like scatter, 16, 18, something like that. And then the other one is like scatter H2O, which is a summer equip. That one does actually buff up your break power. And then after that, like, you don't really have any other magic equip that can kind of deal more break damage or buff up your break power even more. Hopefully later on down the line we get more break equips for magic, because for right now, yeah, not looking so hot for this girl. Not at all. So overall, I think it's fine that she doesn't have access to the best break equips in the game, even though that would definitely help her exponentially if she did. And ladies and gentlemen, that is my list right there. All the characters listed out from OPM. I won't lie, when this crossover first got shown off, I really wasn't happy about it. I was extremely disappointed, and even now, I still think that I'm pretty sleeper about it. It's not my favorite crossover. Some of these characters could have got a bit more, in my opinion, than just what they got. But overall, everyone got really good buffs, really good Dream Awakenings, and it was a pretty solid rerun. I really hope we don't get more Awoken reruns. For the love of God, can we please stop with Awoken reruns? I don't want them. The special arts are cool, but you know, let's get the show on the road, man. We need to get to the other Ascended characters. Awoken characters just make the game feel dead and dry and not really impactful when it comes to these characters. But hey, at least we got Saitama back. You know what I'm saying? We got the boy back. Yes. If you enjoyed this video though, highly recommend check out the other tier list videos I've done. I've done one for Shangri-La, and I've also done one for Overlord if you want to see my opinions on those crossovers. Oh, but before you click on those, one more thing. Don't forget to drink water.